everybody, welcome to Paper Wishes Weekly Webisodes. I'm Lene Gehrig, and today I'm thrilled to bring you something really special from our friends at Heartfelt Creations. Gorgeous cards using the Christmas Poinsettia and Holly collection. It includes stamp, cutting dies, and mold. And I'm going to show you how to use it and put it all together, so come play with us. This first card uses a brand new paper pack coming soon to Paper Wishes. It's from hot off the press, and it's our new Christmas Sparkle paper pack. And it's got these really beautiful pink and salmon, gorgeous colors. It's even got some really sparkly paper with that. So I wanted to give you a little sneak peek on that one. Let's get right in on how to use this Poinsettia and Holly mold. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get out our stamp set, and it's got 3 sizes of poinsettia shapes, and then it's also got 2 sizes of holly. Okay, so I've already pre-stamped these, and the cardstock that I like to use is, doesn't say here this is the pearlescent cardstock, but I'm guessing this is about 100-pound cardstock. It's got a pretty good weight to it. And I like that because we're going to be stamping, die cutting, misting, and then molding this cardstock. So it's going to go through a workout, and we want something that's going to really hold up. So like a lightweight paper, decorative paper, really is not going to hold up as well. So to stamp, I like using my Misty, or any stamping platform, but I like to take, because these stamps have foam backing on them, I take the foam out of the Misty and go ahead and put my stamp here and position it. Okay, so that would be the first step. All right, and then we're going to go ahead and use the die cut shapes. Now what I love about these is they're very directional. Okay, so they are stamped in the same way that they are placed on the dies, so you don't have to worry too much about which direction you're going in. Okay. All right, and I'm just taking a piece of repositional tape. It's like painter's tape, or you can even use washi tape, stencil tape. And I'm just going to put that right there so that as I run these through the die cutting machine, they are going to stay in place and not slide. Okay, so just lining each one of these up. And you know, sometimes dies don't line up perfectly. Heartfelt Creations do not have that problem. They are wonderful. You just want to make sure the inside of the die is lining up around the outside edge of the stamp. And Victor, could we kind of get in a little closer to look at that? Victor is my cameraman today. He's doing an awesome job. So there we go. You can see it lines up really, really well. Okay, so once that goes through the machine, okay, then we're going to end up with all these little shapes. And then it's time to do a little bit of inking. And I'm just going to use the yellow and green Cat Eye Q that I got from Paper Wishes. And on the first pink one, I just took a little bit of yellow and I just put it on the center of each one of the petals, like that. And you could even bend the petal down like this, so you're just dealing with one at a time. Okay, that's easy enough. And then I take the darkest green, it's kind of a forest color, and I do the same just around the edges of all the holly pieces. So I just sat there and watched some TV and do all of your inking, because you're going to fill up this little tray like this. Okay, and this is our mold. Okay, the mold comes in 2 pieces, and you're going to fill up your tray with all of your little pre-inked pieces. And I should mention, this is really important. When I'm going back to stamping, when I'm stamping all of my blossoms, I wanted to use a waterproof dye ink. This is a Finesse by Spectrum Noir. It's waterproof ink, and it's a non-smear ink that is great for using with watercolors and watercolor pencils and things like that, because when it gets wet, it doesn't bleed. Well, we're going to get these a little damp, so we don't want our ink to bleed, so that's why I use this particular brand. Okay, so now I'm going to get everything a little messy, so I'm going to get out my handy craft sheet. There we go. All right, and I've just got my little mister here, and I'm just going to get about 6 to 8 inches away and do a little misting. You don't want these things wet, you just want them a little damp. And then you'll notice on the mold right here, it's got little tabs that you align right here. So basically there's, on the mold, there's 3 notches, okay? And there's 3 notches here. There's not a notch on the bottom left corner. Well, it's my left. So that way you don't have to struggle which direction to go to. So you're just gonna snap that right on top. Okay, the notches are in place, okay? And then you're gonna run this right through your die cutting machine. And for the sake of time, we're not going to be doing that. So we're just gonna take a little break and I'm gonna run this through the machine and then we'll be right back. Hi everybody, I'm back. I changed my mind and decided it was actually very useful for you to see me run this through the machine. So this is how this works. So I've got my Sizzix Big Shot here and I've taken the platform away. And now I just have my plates. Now my plates are very well loved, so you can see I probably need new ones, but they're going to work well for our circumstances. So I'm just putting the mold right here between 2 very well loved plates. And then if you find that you need some shims to get a tighter fit on yours, by all means do that. Everybody's machine's a little different. Everybody's plates are in different condition. So sometimes to get a really nice tight mold, you might need to shim it a little bit. So let's go ahead and just crank this through. You really are not gonna need much resistance. I mean, if you're used to doing some dies, you know, through your machine, you're gonna be wondering, is this enough resistance for the mold? It really is. So we're gonna take this and move this out of the way. Okay. This is my favorite part. We get to see. All right. Just gonna turn this right over. Sometimes they get a little sticky because they are wet. Go. And as I take these out, I'm just going to let them air dry for just, I don't know, probably 5-10 minutes. And then they're ready to go. They're not damp anymore. But for the sake of time, we're going to go ahead and assemble one when they're still a little damp. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is, I probably should have put my craft mat out because this is wet. All right, so I've got my craft mat, and I start with the largest one here, and maybe we could zoom in a little bit, Victor. I'm gonna start with my largest blossom piece. Take a little bit of, this is Cosmic Shimmer Specialist Acrylic Glue. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And what's great about these is they've already got all this dimension, so you don't need to worry about doing your own embossing and just forever going through that. Okay, so I'm going to do the next layer. There. Okay, and we're going to take a break for just a second. So I like to take, this is a stylist from my Elizabeth Craft Designs toolkit. It has all these great little tools that are perfect for flowers. And so once I've glued those all 3 in place, I'm just going to take my little foam wedge here, also from our Elizabeth Crafts. You can get these at Paper Wishes. And then just to connect all that glue, I just push down and look how everything just pops up like that, and it's going to stay that way. Look at that. Isn't that great? All right, so you're basically just going to do that several more times. And then let's get back to this card. You'll notice that I've got these little pearly little flower centers, these little stamens. Let me show you how those work. So also from Heartfelt Creations, they've got these pastel pearl medium size little flower stamens, and they come in all different kinds of colors. I am using the little peach color, so you leave them bundled like this. This is what I found to be the easiest thing to do. So I'm going to take in the center of my little flower, I'm going to put a little bit of glue, not too much. There we go. And then you just cut off these one at a time. I like to cut them off so they're pretty much, you know, there's no stem on them. And you're just setting them, whoops. This is where the little tweezers come in handy. Okay, so you're just going to set those, each one of those little stamen pieces is going to go right in the glue. And you just get a little cluster of them. There we go. Like this. And I find that just getting them into the glue initially is the most important part. And then once you get them all cut, then you can arrange them. Go. I put about 6 or so, sometimes even 7, because they're all different sizes, which is really nice because some flowers require a different size. Let's put another one in. So I'm doing 7 right there. All right. All right. So isn't that precious? And then I went ahead and put them all, if we can zoom out a little bit. There we go. So I put them in a cluster of 4 and just went ahead and just placed them on here using my tweezers, and then use the center to kind of push down to make them that glue connect. And then each one of these holly, I just put a little glue right here on this round little area where the berry is, and I just tucked that right under there. And then of course this little greeting, this is the May Your Christmas Sparkle, and this is from Creative Expressions. Thank you, Creative Expressions. And I just cut that out of the same pink cardstock that I did for the flowers. And then I have this really great Spectrum Noir Sparkle crystal pen. It's just clear liquid glitter, and I just painted directly over the greeting. And so now just the greeting has a little bit of sparkle on it, which is really nice. And then I also added a few little pink sparklets on there and a little sheer white ribbon. So that one really couldn't be easier. For this next card, I use an interlocking card from Hot Off the Press. This is an interlocking frame die cut card. Cards come like this, and you just get to decorate them and decorate the frame. Use a little foam tape to put the frame over the top. And let me show you what I did with these little red poinsettias. They're a little different than the pink. I'm going to get my foam block out again. This time I have stamped and die cut and molded my poinsettias from red cardstock. So to assemble this one, really, let's do our little technique here first. I'm going to go back to the Spectrum Noir Sparkle pen. And I'm just going to add a little bit of sparkle to each leaf. What's great about the sparkle pen, it says push on either side of the pen right there. And when you squeeze that together, it just releases a little bit more sparkle. I released a little too much, but that's okay. We're going to go ahead and use that on all of the petals. Okay. In my craft mat again. Okay. And I'm just going to do that to all 3 of the petals. Okay. And then we're going to do the same stacking, gluing and stacking process. There we go. Have a little bit of sparkle there. All right, so then I just take my glue, and you notice that I'm offsetting each one of these petals. I forgot to mention that for the first time. All right, and so you're just offsetting them each layer, and then you're going to take your little foam pad and little stylus again. Make sure that that glue is connecting like this. There we go. It's got that dimension that we want. And then in the center, instead of using one of the little stamens, we've got these adorable, look at this huge package that you get. This is from Paper Wishes, and this is, I think, $9.99, and they're rainbow flat back pearls. So if you're familiar with sparklets, well, these little flat back pearls are mixed into the collection of sparklets, and we were just like, could we just get these halfback pearls? They're so useful. And Paulette got them for us in a huge package, and I just love them. So I'm going to take a yellow one, and we put a little glue right in the center there, and then just add your little pearl. Sometimes they kind of flip around on you, but there we go. And so that's all taken care of. So for this sparkly dollar store frame, I used the same red flower, but add a little twist to it. So Victor, could we zoom in on these flowers? On these, I added a little bit. So after creating them from white cardstock, here I'm going to just take just a white Cat IQ ink pad. This is from Cat IQ Basics. And I should show you this. It's got all the different colors, some metallics and some black. You get that at Paper Wishes. I just take the white and I'm going along just the tip of the poinsettia. There we go. Get that put back together so it doesn't dry out. All right, and so then I'm going to take my little foam wedge. Where did I put it? Here it is. There we go. All right, and so I'm going to do this same process to the next one. All right, and so then you're going to do the same process with adding a little bit of the glitter with the Spectrum Noir sparkle pen, the crystal clear, and you're just going to be adding these in layers, one over the top of the other. And then at the center, instead of using the little halfback pearl, on this one I just used a little bit of Stickles Gold Glitter Glue and just put that right in the center. Okay, so there's a little bit of a different take on that same kind of petal. We have another one here. Let's see if we can zoom out a little bit. This one is a beautiful snowflake card. I love the colors of the silver and the white and the blue. That was my inspiration for this particular card. The background on this card is using Silver Color Me from Hot Off the Press. It's Silver Color Me paper, and it's silver embossed paper with circles. So it's silver embossed paper with circles. Love this paper. And then what I did is I went ahead and die cut this, and then also die cut an oval frame for that from silver metallic paper. So let me show you how I did these flowers. I took white cardstock, and then I just used silver embossing powder. Actually, this is sterling silver, and this is really wonderful from Stamens on white cardstock. And then I used some really great new blender brushes that we have. There are 3 sizes, okay, large, medium, and small. And I love these. They're gorgeous. And it's just beautiful to touch even. They just have this little brush, super soft. I told Paulette that's just really satisfying, just being able to just sit here and touch that beautiful brush. But we won't just sit here and touch. We're going to go ahead and show you how to do the blending on here. So again, I went back to my Cat IQ. This is the blue set. Okay, and I'm going to take 2 colors. First, I'm going to go for this darker aqua. Here we go. And you're just going to want to, when you're using these brushes, like a damp cloth, is good to have handy because that's how you're going to clean these off. I'm just going to pounce on the ink pad, then I'm going to clean off a little bit of that because I don't want to have a really intense color. And then I'm just going at the center, right here. There we go, beautiful. All right, and I'm going to clean that off just using a little damp cloth. Of course, I would do all of them using the one darker color, do all the centers first, and then move on to the next color. But for the sake of time, we're just going to do it this way. All right, then I'm going to go to this light aqua. Okay, same thing, I'm going to tap some off. And then I'm just blending that out of the darker blue. And I like to start with the darker one so that basically I don't cross-contaminate my lighter blue with the darker blue color if there's any left on there. I love that beautiful blending. Whoops, I'm really off camera. There we go. Beautiful blending that I'm getting. Oh. All right, so you're going to do that on all of your pieces. Okay, and then you're going to put those, once you've got your all assortment done, you're going to put those in your little embossing, the molding tray. And when they come out, they're going to have, each layer will just be really gorgeous and glittery and snowflakey. And as far as the holly leaves, I actually die cut this from the pearlescent cardstock that I showed you at the top of the video, and I just use this embossing powder again. And I also used, I should mention, the Watermark translucent clear stamp pad from Spectrum Noir, and then use that for my embossing ink, and then add the embossing powder, use the heat gun, and got this great look. Okay. Once again, used another wonderful die cut greeting from Creative Expressions, cut that from the same silver paper, and added some adorable little sparklet snowflakes. So thanks for joining me today. I would definitely encourage you to check out the Money Saver for the Christmas Poinsettia and Holly collection from Heartfelt Creations. The wonderful, wonderful, very versatile collection. We have a Money Saver for that on the right side of your screen, and if you're watching us on YouTube, make sure you check out the links below in the description. You will find a link to the Money Saver and a link to paperwishes.com, where you can watch more videos and find all kinds of craft goodies. Thanks for joining me today.